Hello folks, and welcome to what could possibly be the last Richard Head Longbows video in the world. Alright, perhaps that's a little over dramatic, but first of all, the happy side of this video, and that is to say we've reached 10,000 subscribers, and that is literally all thanks to you lot at home. That's not down to me, that is down to you clicking that subscribe button and getting that figure up to and just over now 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. That is the very thing that I strive to do when I set out with this YouTube channel all those years ago, and I have now checked, and that was 2007. Now some might say in that time I should have amassed more than 10,000 subscribers, and yeah, you're probably right. And that leads me on to the well, I was going to say sad, but perhaps more trepidatious and more nervousness making, if that's a word, side of doing this video. Obviously making videos is extremely time consuming. If you don't know anything about making YouTube videos and you're just a consumer, well yeah, it takes an awful lot of time and effort, and that time and effort is also combined with purchasing equipment. I'm currently using a new light here now, as you can probably see if I cast my hand in front of it, casts a shadow, and things like that, well, they cost money. The camera that you're watching this on now costs money. And at this point you're probably about to think, oh dear, he's going to start begging us for money. Well, hear me out, there is a good reason for why I'm doing this video. As I say, my intention was to get to around the 10,000 mark. It just seemed a milestone that I wanted to achieve in my life as far as making a YouTube channel goes. And well, yes, I have achieved that. Now I'm not saying, well, I'm washing my hands of it and throwing it all away now, I've done what I wanted to do. It's not about that. In the last few years, those of you who have watched the channel consistently will know that recently I have really been pushing to try and A, get a video out every week, and B, to really increase the quality of those videos, and to well, to make it a better experience for you and for learning the art of bow and arrow making, which is what this channel is all about. And we've also created a website specifically for that, how to make a longbow.co.uk, which well, is in the description there if you want to go and take a look at that. And again, that costs money too. The whole point of this was to preserve the art of making bows and arrows, and specifically those lessons that I was given under the tutelage of my father. For those of you who don't know, I was apprenticed to my father and still work with him in the business, which this business indeed is his name. Richard Head is my father and I'm Philip Head, and of course we work with my mother as well, so there's three of us in this business. Now obviously spending that amount of time making videos means I haven't been doing other things. That means not necessarily running my business, the very thing that brings me in money. I have realised, yes, since 2007, quite frankly by now I should have had a lot more subscribers if I was going to make this a profitable business, i.e. something where actually making these videos in some way, at the very least, recompenses for making them. Again, those of you who don't know how YouTube works, you actually get a certain amount of revenue, a certain amount of money from the advertising, those things that you have to click to get rid of at the beginning or the end, or sometimes in between the videos when you're fed up of learning about the latest soap or gadget that you can buy. Yeah, I earn a percentage of that advertising. As you also probably noticed if you've looked through my videos, on average at best I get around 1,000 views or so on a video in its sort of first few months of release. And well, yeah, you can do the maths. 10,000 subscribers means that only probably 10% of those people are watching the videos, or indeed other people who aren't subscribers are finding the videos. My most successful video this year as far as the number of views has been the video I did of shooting a top of a bottle off the, can't even remember what the challenge was called, kick a top off a bottle challenge, I don't know, I can't even remember now, but that's had nearly 7,000 views now I think. But sadly that video has been demonetized, meaning I earn nothing from that video because YouTube in their wisdom deem it unsuitable for advertisers. Don't ask me why, I've absolutely no idea. So even when doing a video like that does reasonably successful, I'm not earning any revenue from it, and I would need to have that sort of number of views in the multiples of thousands to actually be able to earn enough from the channel to even pay for the equipment or pay for my time, let alone actually make some sort of profit out of doing it. So suffice to say, me cataloguing that information that my father has given to me over the years, being able to preserve that and relay it to you in a usable manner, and doing it for free. All the videos are free, the website is free, means, well, I say I am doing it for the love of doing it and preserving that information. I'm not gaining anything out of doing it. I'm sure a few of you out will be saying, oh, will you advertise some of your stuff? Well, yeah, of course we do. We do have a website. The vast majority of my viewers, the people who are no doubt watching me now, are in the US. In fact, it's something like 90%, 85, 90% of my viewership is in the US. Hello, friends over the pond, including Jeff. Hello, Jeff. How are you doing? Yeah, so the vast majority of my customers are from abroad, and that makes up about 5% of my sales on my website, where you can buy all the bits and pieces that we make and sell for making bows and arrows, making your own arrows, buying one of our bows, buying our sets of arrows, and all the other bits and pieces that go with it. So the actual sales from abroad is such a small number, which doesn't equate to the YouTube viewership, certainly geographically the YouTube viewership. So I'm not exactly going to be able to make these videos necessarily to advertise the things that we sell, though we do make those videos. But I say, unfortunately, it's not necessarily getting to the people that are more likely to buy our equipment and our bits and pieces, which of course is understandable. Why would you buy something from halfway around the world if you can buy it locally? And of course the archery business in America is far bigger than it is over here. I'm a very, very small fish in an extremely large other side of the pond, as far as making YouTube videos about archery, and of course even just making bows and arrows. There are far more people in America making bows and arrows, doing videos on it, businesses that sell all the equipment and what have you. Obviously this isn't just about America versus Britain. We get customers from Europe and various different places around the world. Now, ultimately what I'm getting to is, and it would be dramatic to say this is the last video ever, that's just a bit clickbaity, and obviously that's not really going to happen, but my commitment to the channel, the making a video every week and making them broader in scope and making them more intricate and taking more time over filming, lighting it, like I say, like using this new light now, it's just far too time consuming with absolutely nothing coming back, apart from the wonderful side of what I'm doing, which is I know that you guys out there appreciate it. So please trust me, I'm not ignoring that fact. I'm not trying to say, well, what you tell me and how wonderful it is to see what I'm doing isn't good enough. That's really not what I mean. But as we all know, times are really, really hard, and we have to work really, really hard, unfortunately, because of the capitalistic society that we live in. Meaning if I don't work and earn money, then I don't get to eat or go out and celebrate tonight that I've reached 10,000 subscribers, or indeed buy the equipment that I've been buying. Which leads me on to the suggestion that I have, that other people have mentioned to me before, which is using things like Patreon. Now, if you're not familiar with that, again, if you're not really familiar with how sort of YouTube works and things like that, but if you are a YouTube watcher and you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll probably see a lot of your favourite content makers use things like Patreon, so that you can patronise their channel by donating, say, I think it starts at like $1 a month or something like that you can do. They tend to tier it in different ways so that you get benefits. If you spend X amount of money, you might get to be part of a private blog or get extra videos or things like that. I haven't looked into it massively, as I say, because it's really not been where my area of attention has been, but it's been suggested to me. There's even things like putting in a PayPal donation link into the actual YouTube video onto our actual channel, so people can donate money and things like that. I don't really want to ask for donations, but I am putting the ball in your court as far as the amount of production I can afford to do in this channel. As I say, at the moment it's been once a week. I mean, I'd like to do more. There are plenty of channels that donate huge amounts of time and that's all they do, but that's because they're getting an income from it. I'm not getting an income from this. So one a week is, quite frankly, too many. It takes a long time. Even this video now that I'm producing now, very little setup time, but it's still going to take me time to edit it and sort it all out. It's going to be several hours of work. I mean, I don't know what you get paid, what your job is, what your hourly rate is, but if you try and work out what this video is and what I'm going to get back for it based on several hours worth of work, you can see why, well, yeah, it kind of doesn't really equate. If you think that's a good idea, I'm not going to just suddenly do that. I'm not going to suddenly open a Patreon and start asking for money and doing all that sort of thing. I want to know whether you actually want me to do that. If you want this to carry on, if you want the preservation of the very, very unique position I was in of being apprenticed to someone, the father-son apprenticeship thing, if you want to see me continue to pass on that information, pass on all those years of learning, the 20 odd years that I've been doing it full time, based on my father's 30 plus years of doing it full time. If you want to see that continue, if you want to see the website continue, the howtomakealongbow.co.uk website, where I basically collating all these videos and putting written work into an effort into writing up a lot of the do's and don'ts and how to make bows and arrows on there as well. If you want to see that continue at the rate that I've been doing it, then let me know. Is paying for it through Patreon? Would you even consider doing that? I say, to me, it's not what I would do. I mean, YouTube, it would continue to be free whether you donated to it or not, but the videos will probably not necessarily be coming out quite as frequently as they are. I don't know. It's one of those things. I know that, as I say, it's a family business. I can't speak for Richard and Lindsay, my mum. I don't know how long they want to continue working full time in this business. Obviously, if they stopped, then I'd be completely on my own doing this business. I don't see how I'd have time at all to do the videos or to do this side of it or to update a website about the making of bows and arrows. I have a life outside of this, believe it or not. Not a vastly exciting one full of wonderful things, but you know, I try and do something outside of my business and outside of my work. So yeah, I'm kind of putting it into your court. But thanks again for listening to this drivelly YouTubey videoy thingy. You know, let me know. It's in the description box, but not description box thingy. That box down there where you type stuff, where you usually shout obscenities. You know, let me know in there. What are your suggestions? Really, do you want to continue the way it is or not? Or let me know. Let me know, really. And yeah, thanks again for, well, achieving for me my goal of getting to 10,000 subscribers. I know it's small fry. I know there's a lot of people who are doing similar archery related things to me who've only been doing it a year or two and have already gone well past me. I realise I'm never going to be a big YouTuber doing this niche thing of how to make the English longbow. I know it's a minority sport within a minority sport. I know that the English longbow It's a small thing within the larger arena of traditional archery and archery in general, and sports in general. Our sport is never sadly going to be as big as football or anything like that, but well, I wish it was. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave you to it, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.